Welcome back. The stage is set, of course. It's the Allianz these days. It's Juve's own stadium. It's not full yet. That's, of course, a wider issue, I think, for Italian football in general. But there's no doubting, James, the status of the game. And whilst we can't answer all the questions that hang over Italian football, this game will answer some of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it will tell us when Napoli are going to win the league.
Yeah. Yeah, which could be as early as next weekend if everything fell perfectly for them.
Absolutely. And it will tell us about Juventus because as much as they've temporarily got this 15 points back, I think Allegri knows that the 15-point penalty could return. And so he was really drilling it home in the press conference yesterday, like to finish the season really strongly and rack up as many points as we possibly can. I think what's impressive, I mentioned how other teams might have been overwhelmed when that points penalty came the week after they lost 5-1 to Napoli. You know, you think that some of the old guard, look, Bonucci's got his bib on. Bonucci's hardly played this season. It's meant Danilo has been the captain. We've seen Szczesny as well really step up. New leaders have had to emerge at Juventus this season because Buffon obviously has gone back to play for Parma. Great story, that. Yeah. Chiellini is playing in MLS with LAFC. So you see Danilo and Szczesny are the guys who are at the front there for Juventus. And they've had to really step up and be that kind of Juventinità, the Juventusness that they need in this moment, which has been one of the most difficult seasons in 17 years that they've had.
And I wonder whether, with everything else that's going on, it almost kind of reinforces Allegri's status as a central figure at the club. He's almost like last man standing.
Yeah. I mean, go back to earlier in the season before the points penalty and everyone was talking, well, there's the hashtag, wasn't there? Allegri out. And in fact, in this kind of situation, you need that cool, calm collectedness that Allegri gives you, particularly off the pitch, particularly in the dressing room. When the pressure's on, he's really good at just striking the right tone. But we'll see if he strikes that right tone tonight.
Indeed, yeah. Two managers have definitely been round the block in Spalletti and Allegri. It will be Spalletti's title, and well-deserved. He's waited an awful long time to be the king of Italian football. Allegri's tasted that more than once. But this is a big night in Turin for both of these teams, for perhaps different reasons. Watching for us, I'm delighted to say, Tony Dorigo and, of course, Adam Summerton. Evening, both.
Evening, Matt. Evening, everyone. So Juventus seek the perfect end to an already excellent week. Their points deduction overturned and progress made in Europe. And now they seek revenge over Napoli. The reverse fixture produced a 5-1 win for the runaway leaders. A humbling night for the Bianconeri. It was one of Napoli's best displays of a remarkable season. But right now, their lowest point of the campaign, knocked out of the Champions League this week, and only one win in their last 5 matches. Seems strange to say of a team closing in on a first Scudetto in 33 years, but Napoli could do with a lift, and victory in Turin would certainly provide that. Good atmosphere in Turin for this game. There always is when Napoli come to town. Very often great games to watch these. And can he deliver this evening? Of course, got that goal against Milan in the Champions League during the week, but it was too little, too late in the end for Napoli. Danilo and Di Lorenzo are the respective captains. Michael Fabri is the referee this evening. There's confirmation of the rest of the officials there. Luca Massimi, the 4th official, and we have Gianluca Aureliano in charge of VAR. Well, it really underlines how good Napoli have been this season, that despite Juve's 15-point deduction being overturned, they're still 16 points behind the leaders. First meets third in Turin, the record Serie A winners, against surely the champions-elect. What a sight that is. Fucking wonderful, isn't it? The Allianz Stadium. Great stage for what we hope will be a fantastic contest tonight. Max Allegri has made 5 changes to the Juve 11 that began their draw with Sporting on Thursday. In come Gatti, Kostic, Sole, Milik, And then Yeli Rugani, who makes his first start since the 19th of February. 5 who dropped to the bench are Alexandro Brema, Di Maria Vlahovic and Chiesa. Spalletti unable to call on Mario Rui and Politano, both injured against Milan in the Champions League. Romani only deemed fit enough for a place on the bench. Zielinski is also among the subs. In come Oliveira, Kim, Ongisa and Lozano. Tony Dorigo is alongside me. This should be quite a contest.
Yes, it certainly is. Really looking forward to this one as well. Of course, you're right, Napoli are the champions in waiting. They've been so far ahead for such a long period of time. I'm sure their concentration has wavered, but this is a really good game to get it right back.
Certainly revenge has been the word on many people's lips with a Juventus persuasion. We saw an interview before the game with Wojciech Szczęsny, who used it himself. It's got to be a big motivating factor for Juventus tonight after that mauling in Naples earlier on in the season.
Certainly was a humbling, wasn't it? Exactly where Juventus were at that point, but certainly Napoli gave notice to what was to come in this Scudetto race. It has been very easy for them, but here tonight, very different. In the last 12 that have been played here, Napoli only won once. Remember that? Koulibaly back in 2018. So big game tonight. Lots at stake.
Jesus keeps his place in the side with Romani only on the bench, but this man Kim comes back in. I felt they missed his presence, not just at the back during the week, but he starts so many of the attacks, doesn't he, for Napoli?
He does, very good on the ball. Of course, an excellent defender, but the way that Napoli plays, swiftly getting the ball through the thirds of the pitch, needs someone to start it more often than not. Certainly Kim is the one.
Nobody's played more passes in Serie A this season than Kim. This is Oliveira in for the injured Mario Rui. Jesus. Kim. And looking to start an attack. Di Lorenzo, the captain, looking for Chucky Lozano.
Just overhit, but there is certainly the danger for Allegri.
He's insisted before the game there is no desire for revenge, just a desire to beat the league leaders, he said. Interestingly, Spalletti decided not to hold a pre-match press conference on the eve of this game. Still maybe smarting from being knocked out of the Champions League, perhaps.
And it's hugely disappointing, of course, but this is a big game, a prize of the Scudetto. They've been waiting ever so long. Concentrate the mind. There is one target, and that man there could bring something back to Napoli that, well, you've got to be a certain age to remember the last time.
It's Milik's header. Kim. It goes to Meret. Kostic. Locatelli urged to shoot, but another snatched at it and dragged it well wide.
First touch wasn't quite out of his body, he couldn't really step onto it, so had to take it quickly, but he certainly can strike it. We've seen it plenty of time, but didn't get that one right.
Yet to score in the league this season. I was reading an article where he said recently he's got to know Gianluca Pesotto pretty well, says he's teaching him lots of things.
Missing changes for Juventus, and one in particular, Rugani at the back. Obviously we have Bonucci on the bench. Clearly the trust with him isn't quite the same as it was in his heyday, so Rugani comes in, but of all the players to mark the likes of Osimhen, I wouldn't put Rugani as the ideal player to come up against the Nigerian.
Kivica Kvaratskhelia looking for Osimhen, and headed behind by the aforementioned Rugani for the first corner of the game.
Good positioning. Rugani not that quick across the grass, and also I think physically Osimhen might have the better of him, but he's clever, gets himself in good positions, and there showing exactly that.
It's his first appearance since the 12th of March. His last start was the 19th of February for Rugani. Big job on his hands tonight, as Tony has underlined there. So almost 5 minutes gone in Turin, and Napoli threatened from the corner. Kvaratskhelia with the ball in.
Milik at the back with a really good defensive header. Just looking at the numbers on this game, maybe not quite a surprise, but number 1 and 2 of teams scoring goals from set pieces. Number 1 Napoli, number 2 Juventus.
Yeah, Napoli have scored 22 goals from set pieces, Juve 19. They're also the two sides to score the most goals from corners in Serie A this season. 15 for Napoli, 10 for Juventus. So Tony spot on to highlight the importance perhaps of set pieces this evening.
Yes, and you think of course of Napoli in the free-flowing football, but to be honest, they've been very good at everything, haven't they? That's not really a weakness in their game this season.
It shows you the attention to detail there, doesn't it? We all know how nicely they play from open play, and that shows that Spalletti goes into much more than just that. And Juve maybe counter here. Locatelli up to Milik. Remember, no Vlahovic in the starting lineup tonight for Juventus. He's run the changes, Allegri, after the game against Sporting during the week and ahead of the second leg in the Coppa Italia semi-final against Inter at San Siro this coming midweek.
Yes, and of course they want to stay where they are in those Champions League spots, whatever happens with the points deduction later. But fitness worries. Chiesa, of course, hasn't played that many games, playing just Thursday. Can't quite play another one so quickly, but different players out there need to do a job. Danilo just getting that foul away.
Lozano, the player, brought down by Danilo.
Just getting too tight. Once a player has got his body in between the ball and the man, sometimes just give him a yard and go for the second.
I noticed Danilo, after the defeat to Sassuolo, referenced things like mentality and attitude when discussing his side's collective performance. It's also said they need to improve the way that they read space and movements. He was fairly critical, Danilo, after that defeat. Lost the last 2 in the league. Progress in Europe, though.
Yes, Lazio and Sassuolo. Not sure how long it's been since they lost 3 in a row, but it must be a long time ago, because they're very unused to that. But their home form has been superb, hasn't it? Of course, Napoli's away form as well is the best. Juve's at home is the best. So let's see what we get tonight.
Well, that was nicely done. Flick by Cuadrado. Sole.
Closing down so good though, isn't it? And of course when Juventus get on the ball, they're getting rushed and squeezed. Passing then isn't as easy as they would like.
Osimhen trying to win it back. Anguissa. Kvaratskhelia. Anguissa. Di Lorenzo. And he really had Osimhen in the box. It's the Napoli captain again here. Anguissa. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. Lozano's cross.
Kostic has done really well. That's 2 times he's got a block in. And you're right, there's only one player in the box, Osimhen, but I tell you what, you put the right ball in, he is going to win it. So stop at source, stop that ball going into the box.
Anguissa zipping it about nicely here, Napoli, in the early stages. It's Di Lorenzo, the captain, who's down.
Certainly are playing quick triangles around the Juventus players. A little late with the challenge.
Worth reminding you again here, Napoli have scored 22 goals from set pieces in Serie A this season. In the 10th minute in Turin, Juan Jesus One of those in there. Kim's up from the back as well. Committed numbers forward here, the league leaders. Oliveira and Kvaratskhelia are the players stood over it. Oliveira has really overcome that, though.
He has way too much air on that one. Not enough whip.
Napoli, by the way, haven't recorded a league double over Juve since the 2009-10 season. It's only happened on 3 previous occasions in Serie A, 57-58, 86-87 and 2009-10. They showed the more ambition in the early stages, but it's Juve on the attack now. Cuadrado. Miretti makes his way into the box. Cuadrado hit one! And Meret just pushed it away. He swerved a bit there. Cuadrado again. Pressure from Juventus. Locatelli, busy in the box. Fine cross too, and well defended. Needed to be.
Lorenzo at the back stick does really well to get in the way, but what a hit that was from Cuadrado. Meret taking no chances. Just moved in it right at the last minute. Decided not to catch it, punch it instead. Did the right thing.
Juve's turn to apply a bit of pressure. 5 in the box for the Bianconeri. Locatelli. Cuadrado. Danilo with the crossfield pass intended for Kostic. Amazing, isn't it, that at this point of the season Napoli have only dropped 5 points away from home. Almost playing themselves into trouble here, though. The press from Juventus, but they worked their way out of the press really well. Now they can attack themselves, Napoli. Chucky Lozano, movement from Osimhen. Ndombele is in space, and he'll have a go, but he got right underneath it.
Has to hit the target. Another good opportunity there for Napoli, but the press was bypassed so well by Napoli. They get it up the other end, and Ndombele be disappointed with that effort.
He'd have been disappointed with his game in the week as well, wouldn't he, Ndombele?
Yep, certainly. So he'll be fortunate here to get another start. Just seeing a good save as well. Good end-to-end stuff. Got to be careful, haven't you, with Napoli, because they can play it so very well. That high press, you can win it, but also you can then suddenly allow space in behind you once Napoli get it through that press.
Sole. Locatelli moves it quickly. He'll lose it again. Lozano has got Osimhen beyond him. Danilo recovered well.
Just Lozano, one touch too many. He just fed it to Osimhen.
Cuadrado already seeing a fair amount of the ball down this right-hand side. Good strength from Sole to hold off Lobotka. Cuadrado.
Certainly a good tempo, isn't there, to this game? Both sides just really closing down, working really hard. It's just not 1 or 2 players, every single player. Once that ball gets close, they're on it.
Miretti. Kostic, so often a source of creativity for Juve down this flank. And Milik waited for the cross, and Juan Jesus got it clear. And then it came to Rabiot, and then Locatelli. And this is Kostic. And Sole was looking to put his head on that. Harmless enough, and an easy take for Meret in the end.
With Kostic on the left for Juventus, 9 assists, by far and away the best for Juve, and that's where certainly Di Lorenzo marking. He has to make sure he gets his body position correctly. He's always trying to whip it with that left foot around him, so the fullback really should just take a step to the right and stop that one.
They won the Europa League last season with Eintracht Frankfurt. Kostic, of course, just a chance to repeat the feat with Juve this season into the semi-finals now. Miretti. Sole. Locatelli. Kostic to Danilo. Miretti's made a good run. It's in towards him. And the flick might fall, like nearly did for Soler. Cleared by Oliveira. "36 points out of 45 for Juventus at home this season, despite all the troubles they've had on and off the pitch this season. Still remains a tough place to come, this, doesn't it?
Oh, cool as you like.
Rabiot. Space was out wide and Kostic will get there. And it's going to come towards Milik. Certainly Juve look the more likely right now.
Excellent ball, just put up to the back post. And I think the defender, Oliveira, does actually really well. You know he's going to be second best. You know he can't win that ball, but what he does is just goes back into the striker coming on and making sure he can't get an absolutely clean header. All he can then do is try and head it back and downwards. You see Milik is aware of the defender coming at him.
It's on loan from Marseille. Milik has had his injury troubles of late. There have been reports in Italy that the club are just asked to delay their decision on whether to sign him permanently in the summer. I believe the fee to make that a permanent move is €7 million. Kim has brought this a long way. Osimhen unable to bring it under his spell. I think it just took a touch off Locatelli.
Locatelli actually does really well, but there again an example of how Kim just strides out from the back, beats his player, everything opens up for him when going forward.
Handball by Miretti. He kicks the ball away too, for good measure. Oliveira, Juan Jesus. Kim. They've done Kim a little bit of good to have a brief bit of respite. I remember he said it during the last international set of games when he was away with South Korea that he was mentally tired. There was a bit of controversy because he said he only wanted to focus on his club right now, not the national team. And of course, they'd lost 2-1 to Uruguay, and he ended up having to come out and apologise for those comments. They weren't well received in South Korea.
Yeah, that's not the best thing to say. You might think it, but don't say it. And of course, they want to play for their country, but so difficult. You're getting pulled here and there by your club. So much at stake. You can understand the pressure that he is under.
Ndombele. The Scudetto would be the first major honour of his career, Ndombele. Di Lorenzo. Lozano, easily away from Danilo. Lobotka couldn't get to it. Kim. Di Lorenzo. Averaging more than 2 goals per game away from home in Serie A this season, Napoli. To truly trouble the Juventus goal as of yet.
They're certainly in command of possession, aren't they? The way they're getting it through. But Juventus will drop back in, take up a good defensive shape, but it's this man here, Kvaratskhelia, likes of Lozano and Ndombele, to try and produce an opportunity for Osimhen in that last third.
Lozano. Wojciech Kvaratskhelia. And there's the save from Wojciech Szczęsny.
Been given a foul. Referee thinks a little push in the back on Cuadrado. Well, it does come to Kvaratskhelia. It does well, actually, to get a more than decent connection on it and head it goalwards.
Oh, brilliantly done. Like Kvaratskhelia, Anguissa, Osimhen. Rabiot intercepted. Napoli looking to force the issue here. Osimhen goes down, challenged by Rugani. Sole won it back for Juventus.
Good play in the end from both sides. Juventus trying to play it out from the back. They're closing down from Napoli's really good. Got to be so careful not to give away just a cheap free kick in that sort of area.
Will be Napoli's ball, taken by Oliveira. Kim. Di Lorenzo. Be just about the perfect week, wouldn't it, for Juventus if they were to beat Napoli tonight, with progress secured in Europe and points deduction overturned. They're not happy about the challenge. Michael Fabry coming across here.
Of course, it certainly made a lot of it, but Anguissa just a little late. I'm sure he didn't go through with the challenge either, but Juventus man certainly squealed, trying to get Anguissa in a bit more trouble than he should have.
Said a lot during the season, Tony, about the midfield balance when their first choice three for Napoli is playing. I thought Anguissa was really missed in that respect against Milan in the week.
No, absolutely. He's just a nice balance to the other two, and that certainly is what this Napoli side has been all about. Yes, they have all that attacking threat, but they also have the ability to control that midfield area as well as help out their defenders. Certain players are key. Anguissa is one of those.
Suspended for that second leg against Milan after a red card in the first leg. Gatti. Here's the ball back here, and the pressure from Osimhen.
At the moment, Juve just struggling to keep hold of the ball. Milik has got a really important job, but at the same time, the quality up to him has to be better.
It's well played by Ndombele. As he tripped there. Yellow card for Locatelli.
Not sure how much of a touch that was from Locatelli. Looked a little unfortunate. Ndombele always was looking for that, because Rabiot was down there closing him down as well. Good touch initially for the Napoli man. And Locatelli is the unfortunate one to go on the referee's notepad.
He was slightly off balance, wasn't he? With a little nudge off Rabiot.
And always going down. The referee thought there was a collision, a trip from the back, but Juventus man nonetheless is in the book.
Oliveira. And again. Lobotka. Di Lorenzo. Lozano. Politano could well be out for a while now after that injury sustained against Milan during the week. Lozano on the right-hand side tonight. Rui left the stadium on crutches on Wednesday as well. Just costly that game in terms of the Champions League exit. Romani on the bench tonight as well, not deemed fit enough to start. Credit to Milan, though, Tony, over the two legs for getting the job done. They did very well, and of course beat them 4-0 as well, didn't they, in Naples, in the league?
Yes, they really have played well over those two legs. They had to defend a lot. Mike Maignan as well was superb at the back. And when they needed to, they showed their brilliance as well. Napoli can look at them as chances, as penalty, but overall Milan, yeah, really good job.
And Ndombele with a good run. Held on to it for too long, perhaps, in the end. Cuadrado, great challenge by Kvaratskhelia. And Ndombele.
So the referee's certainly right in letting it go. Players throwing themselves to the ground, trying to win the free kick. Only one referee.
Ahead of this weekend, Juve and Napoli were two of the four teams to have recorded the most clean sheets in the Big Five European leagues this season. Only ahead of them Barcelona and Lazio. So we have two sides who certainly know how to defend here. Yet to see the deadlock broken. Miretti. Good improvisation by Anguissa. And Oliveira being spoken to here.
I just love the innocent faces. What, me? I've done nothing. I remember that one.
Did you practice that in the
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It wasn't me.
Cuadrado. Rabiot. Good first touch. Still Rabiot! Oh, lovely ball across the face of goal, but nobody there to tap it in.
Rabiot again, he's the one for Juve that just breaks from midfield, gets in some really good areas, and there again, couldn't quite find Milik.
Very influential, often in the final third this season. Rabiot, 11 goals in all competitions he's got now. Of course, his contract is up in the summer.
What are you trying to say?
I wonder where he'll go, or whether he'll stay, we'll see. He said that Champions League football is absolutely paramount in terms of where he goes. It looks likely that Juve will get that now, not certain. Still a long way to go, but getting those points back has made naturally a huge difference to those prospects.
And I think Juventus have to think like that as well, but I think that saga's going to run and run.
Osimhen. Di Lorenzo. Stanislav Lobotka. Jesus. Oliveira. Micha Kvaratskhelia. And Ndombele looking to hold off Locatelli, who concedes the corner.
Good defending. Read exactly what the Napoli man was trying to do. But now another set piece. Of course, playing into their strength.
15 goals from corners this season for Napoli. Osimhen takes his place in the box, as does Kim. It's to be taken by Kvaratskhelia. They dealt with that one fairly easily, but more defending to do here. Di Lorenzo had stayed forward. Rugani who headed that clear. Kostic will get to this. Milik is central. Juan Jesus trying to get to him, but the pass just wasn't good enough. Needed to be so much better, that from Kostic.
Actually wasn't a difficult ball either. I'm not sure Milik quite had the pace either. Jesus was eating up the yards on him, but half a chance gone begging.
Game a bit stretched here. Lozano. Osimhen. Lobotka. Osimhen seemed to be suggesting an arm there. Kvaratskhelia. Oliveira goes on the outside. Not a great cross from the Georgian international, Lobotka. Di Lorenzo. Ongisa. Oliveira. Kvaratskhelia. Lobotka. This is Lozano. Di Lorenzo. Lobotka just probing here. Napoli. Ongisa. Kvaratskhelia. Ongisa. With everyone behind the ball.
Absolutely, but they keep the ball so well, Napoli, don't they? Trying to get in behind the Juventus defence is difficult with three at the back. Wing-backs just drop in and allow the ball to be played in front of them.
Jesus. Lobotka. Ndombele. Kvaratskhelia. Stayed down here after a collision with Gatti.
I think it certainly was an accidental collision, because Gatti straight away went to him. Oh, there's the arm, actually. Right arm. Just swinging across. And then he said sorry, but there's no doubt that that was more than just an arm on the shoulder. There's the earlier chance. Locatelli actually does well just to put off Osimhen. It's bouncing up. And this is where the hand, you can see it just brushed the fingers of Locatelli. Didn't know too much about it, though.
Nobody there to turn that one home for Juventus after Rabiot had done so well. We have more live Serie A for you tomorrow. It's from Bergamo. Good game in the race for Europe. Atalanta against Roma. Tomorrow, 7:30, BT Sport 1. And need I remind you that we have a Milan derby in the Champions League semi-finals. The first leg, Wednesday, the 10th of May at 7 o'clock, BT Sport 1. And ultimate. Big midweek coming up in terms of live Premier League action. All 10 matches live on our channels. Of course, the one that really stands out is Manchester City against Arsenal. A huge encounter at the Etihad.
I thought you were going to say Leeds-Leicester, but OK, let's go with that one.
That's a good one as well.
OK.
Personally, we'll be at Villa, Fulham and West Ham, Liverpool. Lots to look forward to during the week on BT Sport, but all our focus here right now on this battle between third and first in Serie A. There's that. There was a real grimace, wasn't there, from Gatti as he made contact with Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, it certainly was, and it was a bit of a swinging arm as well, but defender goes unpunished.
So he played amateur football until 2020. Federico Gatti worked as a bricklayer, a window fitter, and also in a supermarket. And saying, talked about how it gives him strength in difficult moments to keep going. Cuadrado, just keep it in. Or did he? Kim goes longer this time, up towards Osimhen. Not got too much service into him so far, have they?
No, they haven't. Juve back three have dealt with him pretty well. And Locatelli has just been dropping back in as well to stop it going into his feet easily. So the threat largely has been nullified.
Solé. Have anyone won of their last 6 league games against Napoli? Juventus losing 4 of those. Pretty even contest so far. 10 minutes of the first half to go. Juan Jesus to Oliveira. Kvaratskhelia. Oliveira. Anguissa. Ndombele. Rabiot, it was who slid in.
Excellent challenge. Must admit, the first year that he came to Juventus, I'm not sure what he gave the midfield, but now he's developed into the main man.
Covers a lot of distance as well, works very hard. Just over 11 kilometres per game he covers. There's only 7 players in Serie A who cover more on average per game. Well, Allegri had said to him earlier on in the campaign he wanted him to push forward more, he wanted more goals and assists from him, and he's delivered largely in that respect in the second half of the season.
Well, he has, along with Vlahovic, equal top scorer with 8. He says more about the strikers at Juve rather than midfield, but even so, it's an important contribution.
I'd say this is a hard team to be a centre-forward in, though, in defence of Vlahovic and maybe Milik as well. But here come Napoli. Lozano, Kvaratskhelia to his left if he sees him. He didn't see him. Oh, big chance goes begging, and look at the reaction of Kvaratskhelia. Why didn't you pass to me, he says.
It took an age, an absolute age. Either make sure that you hit the target or get it to a player in a better position. Kvaratskhelia certainly was.
Oliveira. Napoli get the free kick.
There's the earlier chance. Danilo does well to get across, but the ball's played earlier to that man there. The option would have been better.
Brilliant defensive work from Danilo. The foul on Ndombele. Free kick in a good position here for Napoli.
Juventus largely have been defending well, haven't they? Winning that header. Either Milik, Rugani, getting their head on it first.
What can Kvaradona conjure up here? 14 goals and 14 assists he has this season, the Georgian international. Osimhen being watched closely in the box. Just a one-man wall, that's Solé. Kvaratskelia's ball in. Defended almost on the line there. Got to be switched on here, Juventus. Kvaratskhelia to try again. Headed clear by Rabiot. Napoli's throw. Jesus. Oliveira. Kim. Anguissa. Rabiot booked. And the referee very quick to produce the yellow card there.
was Anguissa. He's the man that's on the ground, but once again, a little bit of sympathy with Rabo, who has been all over the pitch in this first half. Trying to make another challenge. Does get the ball, but you can see rolling over the top of it and getting plenty of the man with the other foot taking his standing leg.
It's been a committed performance so far from Rabiot, but on a yellow card now. This side on top at the moment, certainly in terms of possession, and both the two central midfielders for Juve now, Rabiot and Locatelli, have been booked. Lots of noise being made by the Napoli fans. And despite the Champions League exit, still have a lot to be happy about. Kvaratskhelia with the ball in. Anguissa. Quadrado loses it to Ndombele. Osimhen looking for Kvaratskhelia. Good sliding challenge by Gatti. Lobotka. Oliveira. Soleil. Locatelli, immediately under pressure. Oliveira, cleared by Danilo. Tangle there involving Milik and Juan Jesus.
Could be referee, hey, I'm not sure which way that should have gone, but just an absolute tussle. Jesus gets his body in the way. Milik's all over him. Juventus man gets the free kick.
Rugani. Free kick given for handball, taken quickly by Kostic. Locatelli. Distinct lack of quality in the final third in this half. There's no denying that from both of these sides.
Yes, Napoli certainly have found better positions, but the numbers in defence for Juventus have more often than not come out on top.
67% of the possession for Napoli, as you saw there. Despite that, they've not moved the ball quickly in the final third as much as we know they're capable of. Napoli, Juve, as we see so often, particularly at home, so well organised defensively. It's one thing that you're always difficult to question Allegri on. It's maybe going forward as being more expansive. Well, there are legitimate questions. Knows how to set a side up to keep it tight. Di Lorenzo, Lobotka. Anguissa. Oliveira. Anguissa, space out wide for Lozano. Backed up by Di Lorenzo. Ndombele waits in the box. Osimhen in there too. It's Osimhen. Improvised clearance from Locatelli. Did well then, Locatelli. It's a good ball too to Quadrado. Magnificent pass. Brought down beautifully by Kostic. Lovely football by Juventus. But there's no end product again.
Just haven't got that time with this Napoli side, because skip past one, a couple more blue shirts coming at you very quickly, but Locatelli played really well, hasn't he, in his first 45. Positions he's taken up defensively, certainly snuffing out Osimhen, but then breaking up play, and there that beautiful crossfield pass, exquisite.
He was left out of the latest Italy squad. Locatelli says he's determined to recall as quickly as possible. There's plenty of competition for places in central midfield right now for Italy. He's blessed with lots of options, Mancini, in that part of the pitch. He'd like a few more centre forwards, perhaps.
Well, yeah, it's not just now. The last few years, that's kind of been the issue for the Italian national side.
Osimhen, was he caught there by Rabiot? Kvaratskhelia. Goes to Meret. A minimum of 2 minutes added time at the end of the first half. Anguissa. Napoli fans watching on as Di Lorenzo takes the throw-in. Ndombele approaching the final minute of added time at the end of the half. Kvaratskhelia. It's a good ball to Di Lorenzo. Lozano. It was Rugani who got it clear that time for Juventus. Ndombele tried to play in Kvaratskhelia. Again, Napoli win it back quickly. Juve struggling to keep hold of the ball for any length of time. Could be the last attack of the first half, this. Lozano, Lobotka, Ndombele, Anguissa. So 0-0 then at half-time. Both sides really have struggled to create chances in the final third. And we go in at the break, all square in Turin. Juventus 0, Napoli 0.
Big night in Turin, although it hasn't caught fire yet at the Allianz. Arguably bigger nights yet to come in Madrid and Milan. Manchester City go to the Bernabeu for the first leg of their Champions League semi-final. That's Tuesday, May the 9th from 7, and the following night to the San Siro. Not once but twice, of course. It's AC who are at home, if you bother about that kind of thing, first. The 10th, and then of course the reverse fixtures a week later in reverse, all with us here on BT Sport. James Horncastle watching Juve 0, Napoli 0, and it's been cagey.
It has. I think both sides have regrets going in at half-time 0-0 because they've got into the final third, often in promising transition situations, and they've just lacked that final ball. You know, we saw it, for example, with Juventus getting Filip Kostic, their best counter-attacker. He gets away, and usually he's been devastating in this kind of position. It's really unlike him to be misplacing a pass like that for Arkadiusz Milik. And then on the same side, Napoli's best chance materialised. You see Locatelli go in, you see Rugani stay with Osimhen, but there's 2v2 there, and Kvaratskhelia is wondering why Lozano hasn't picked him out. So ultimately, those are two moments which could have gone better for both teams.
Yeah, and Napoli have had nigh on 70% possession, no shot on target. Juve have threatened once or twice, haven't they, around that penalty box, without ever really looking like.
Particularly early on, and you see the young players getting into the penalty area either side of Milik, Soulé and Miretti. Rabiot again. Allegri has really tried to get him to push forward more and use that kind of long stride he's got to progress the ball. Again, nice combination. Again, Rabiot once again involved. You know, I mean, he is the top scorer this season. It's a remarkable turnaround. We've mentioned his contract situation, but Juventus have also defended very well. And I think Lazio, when they beat Napoli, kind of showed a blueprint of how you do it. You try and stop, you get the midfield players to screen the balls into the front players, and then you do what Milan did in midweek, which is just be happy to defend your penalty area. And Gatti has been very good. Danilo coming across to stop Lozano there, very good as well. You'd forget that a £50 million defender like Bremer is out injured, and Bonucci, an all-time great, is out injured as well. Juventus doing what Juventus do.
Indeed, yeah, doing it pretty well so far. There are options for both coaches off the bench, but I think Allegri the happier of the two, and that's the body language thus far. What we have, we hold. Can we nick one on the break? Napoli with the ball, but nothing to show for it yet. "45 minutes still to play, but no goals yet in Turin. Both sides have knocked lightly on each other's door earlier. Inter to winning ways in the league. They've had a very decent week, and both Lukaku and Lautaro on the score sheet today. 2 for Rom, one with either foot, in a 3-0 win at Empoli, who are getting dragged back into the relegation dogfight. Rafa Leao, who did this to Napoli in midweek, has done it to Lecce at the San Siro tonight, just easing away from defenders who don't really know what to do. That's his second of the night, and wrapped up a 2-0 win for Champions League semi-finalists. And of course, yesterday, a slip-up from Lazio in second. Provedel not dealing with a long ranger from Ivan Ilicic. Good win for Torino in the capital. Teams back out. And as we mentioned, James, options off the bench if needed. At the moment, it'll be a 15-point gap at the top.
Yeah, Allegri's got more to play with, certainly on the bench now that, you know, Pogba's back fit. Chiesa played 90 minutes on Thursday in that Sporting game. Angel Di Maria, who had actually a very good game in the reverse fixture, even though Juventus lost 5-1. And we all know that Allegri, particularly in his first spell, he could really affect games from the bench. It was almost his superpower. And then he had his sabbatical, and they changed the regulations for 5 subs instead of 3, and he had to figure it out a little bit. But certainly has been able to affect games from the bench more recently, and we'll have to see if he can do that in the next few minutes as well.
Big games to come as well tomorrow. Atalanta-Roma, that's live, of course, from Serie A. And then actually Roma in a big week also have AC Milan next Saturday tea time. That's live on 2. 45 to play, though, at the Allianz. Back we go to Tony and Adam.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, no changes at half-time. Fair to say, Tony, the difference makers are yet to truly come to the fore here.
Yes, and I think certainly wide men for Napoli, when they do get into those sort of areas, just finding that right pass. They've knocked on the door a few times, but haven't quite released it at the right time. Nor have Juve either, but just looking at the benches, the likes of Chiesa, Vlahovic, certainly Di Maria coming on for Juventus could make a difference. Let's see, but another thing, of course, is Napoli have had 48 hours more rest since their European exploits. Will that make a difference?
Early foul here by Oliveira. Just a matter of time now for Napoli in terms of the Scudetto, but there are big head-to-head still to come for Juve in the race for the top 4. Go to Atalanta on the 6th of May. They're at home to Milan on the 27th of May. But a great result for them, Lazio, losing this weekend. Of course, Roma playing tomorrow night at Atalanta.
Yes, Lazio just seems whoever gets in that 2nd, 3rd and 4th spot have a good run, and then start losing as well. It's been a real mixed bag for everyone behind Napoli.
Kostic. Milik in the box, as is Miretti. Again, the service in there, not good though. Sole. Nice ball. Kostic. Lozano was back there defending and helped out by Di Lorenzo as well. Corner Juve.
Good work from Juventus to get in behind, but Lozano trapped his man. Di Lorenzo eventually come across as well, but onside. Good closing down.
Kostic, Juve's leading assist provider in Serie A this season. Only Kvaratskhelia in Serie A has more. He's won his side a corner here early in the second half. Just over 2 minutes gone. No lack of physical presence in this Juve side. Miretti, the 19-year-old Miretti, to take the corner. Milik leapt for that. His reaction suggests he feels he might have done better with it.
It's actually Danilo that challenged with Milik. They both got up really high. Couldn't quite get above the ball, but I'm sure they didn't help each other either.
Could his side have been more ambitious in the first half?
Allegri ambitious. Now, let me think about that. You know what? It's a style that he certainly plays that gets points. That's what it's all about. So they're not going to be open. They're not going to fly forward and certainly allow Napoli with space to play into. So they'll do it at the right time. It'll be cagey, it'll be tactical, and he'll be pleased, I think, with the first 45.
To further the conversation, do you think that that style of play is now the right style of play for a club like Juventus going forward?
It's not, but needs must, and it's what players they've got. You know, you look at that midfield at the moment, certainly the likes of Moretti, you know, a youngster in there, so they're not going to be able to dominate possession against a side like Napoli. But to have that style increased with some fluid football going forward, they need more.
On the attack here with Cuadrado, Miretti in the box, Rabiot on the edge. Can Cuadrado pick the pass? He couldn't quite find Soleil. Energetic start to the second half.
Almost didn't quite drop to Soleil on the edge of that 18-yard area. Home side just turning up the wick.
Lozano will get to this, supported by Osimhen. Lovely turn inside by Lozano. Kvaratskhelia called for it, and here he is, fronting up Cuadrado, twisting him inside and out, and got the shot in that was well held on to by Wojciech Szczęsny.
He's just so good on the ball, isn't he? Turns left and right, either foot, and eventually does fashion that yard of space to let fly.
He's gone 5 games without a goal now, Kvaratskhelia. Rabiot has lost it, the referee says play on. And Ndombele with the shot that took a deflection. Juve still feel that they should have been given a free kick there, but it's a chance that for Ndombele, the second he's had in the game.
Certainly is, but you have to look at Locatelli again. There he is, just in between the centre halves, sliding to make sure that it doesn't go towards his goal.
A game that needs a goal. Set-piece routine as Oliveira swings it in. And it was Di Lorenzo at the far post. Just no power in the header.
Good training ground free kick, that one, changing the angle, almost in.
Kostic, the player, going down here.
Well, Kostic earlier on the far side in the first half went down rather easily. I'm not even sure why he went down that time. Well, clearly to win a free kick, but nothing doing there from Anguissa for me.
Danilo. Lobotka. Given away though by Ndombele. Milik plays it wide. Now it's Cuadrado. Just surveying his options and sees his cross blocked by Oliveira. Making his 11th league start of the season today. Oliveira, Mario Rui, remember, out injured. Rabia, Danilo. Cuadrado. Appealing for offside here. It's Kim looking to block the cross, and now the flag goes up.
Certainly seemed to go early. Good yard offside, as they have to allow play to carry on.
Doesn't turn 20 until August, Miretti, but has seen plenty of minutes in the league this season. It's his 23rd appearance of the season. It's been a big positive of this campaign that young players like Miretti and Fagioli, one or two others, those two perhaps in particular, have been given minutes. Of course, Soleil in the team tonight. Illing Jr. is on the bench.
Yes, that's unusual, isn't it? We don't normally see that from the likes of Juventus. Of course, they go and buy all the big players, and the youngsters just don't get an opportunity. So one or two are coming through, and all decent players as well.
Milik. Danilo to Kostic. Osimhen looking around for some support, which is starting to arrive. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia.
Just for a moment I wondered why Gatti was just retreating and allowing Kvaratskhelia to get a touch of the ball and take it forward. Unfortunately, the Georgian international didn't then use it to the best of his ability. That one always going wide and too high.
They've been used to seeing their side score plenty of goals away from home this season. .33 they've got away from home in 15 games, averaging therefore more than 2 per game on their travels. Had a couple of half chances at the start of this second half. Now Sole. Cuadrado finds himself in field. Locatelli, good movement here from Kostic, and he's got Sole in the middle, cut out by Kim. They keep it going. Miretti, Kostic, 3 in the box. Overhits the cross though. Cuadrado, 10 gone in the second half. Easily away from Kvaratskhelia. Goes for the return, but he's never going to get to that. Just not clicking for either team at the moment in that final third.
They just can't find that vital pass, that bit of quality inside the box. But again, you have to look at the defending, and it really is impressive. Kim was the one that stopped the initial Kostic cross, gets into a great area, makes sure the danger is snuffed out.
Di Maria and Pogba among those warming up, and I wouldn't think it would be too much longer before we start to see Allegri in particular look to his bench. He's a coach who's had to contend with so many injury problems this season, but pretty much a full squad to choose from tonight. Moise Keane is unavailable. It's been so rare that he's had the likes of Di Maria, Pogba, Chiesa all available at the same time.
Yes, I think the only other one injured, Kai George, and that is about it. So getting them all fit and on top of their form, that is key now.
Raspadori and Zielinski among the possible substitutions that man might make. Elmas was there in the background as well. Plenty for Spalletti and Allegri to be pondering as the game unfolds here. Kvaratskhelia to take it. 6 in the box for Napoli. Ndombele gets it back again off Anguissa. Lobotka is fouled by Milik.
Clever play initially from Locatelli to try and get it back, but Milik just charges into Lobotka in and around the box. Not a lot of space out there. Both sides defending well.
May well take a moment of real individual quality to unlock the door. Kvaratskhelia with the ball in. Again, it's really underwhelming from the set piece. We gave it the big build-up, didn't we, at the start of the game, talking about how good these sides are from set pieces. They've been quite wasteful from them tonight.
Yes, they certainly have. And when the quality has been good, the defenders have been there to head it away and defend well. So you're right. Somehow we need one-on-one out wide or through the middle, and got to beat your man and make something happen.
Jesus. Ndombele. Lobotka. Kim. Anguissa. Lozano. Anguissa, Lozano. They're building up to something here, Napoli. Oliveira. Wide it comes now for Kvaratskhelia. Gets the pass off to Lobotka, and now it's Lozano, and this is Di Lorenzo. Lozano again, nice approach play by Napoli, but then the final pass lets them down.
Ndombele as well had time and space on the edge of the box. He didn't realise it. And a poor ball from Kim. Juventus just allowing, of course, Napoli to have the ball. Osimhen up there on his own. There's 3 at the back, so he's not getting a kick. But they only let them come so far, and that, okay, now can you break us down? And at the moment, the leaders haven't been able to.
Reinforcements required. Chiesa and Di Maria. Miretti, one of those who will make way. Maybe planned substitution, these right on the hour mark with the semi-final second leg, with Inter coming up in the Coppa Italia this midweek. Kostic, the other player, being taken off. But these aren't too bad of names to bring on, are they?
They're not too shabby. They're not too shabby at all. And obviously at their peak fitness and form, well, they can win you the game single-handedly. They're both on. Can they be the difference?
Well, Chiesa made only his 6th start of the season in the second leg against Sporting in the Europa League. Allegri had suggested he would be a doubt for that game before the match. Chiesa yet to score a league goal this season. Could tonight be the night? Milik miscontrols as Juan Jesus goes back to Meret. Bumped into touch. No-nonsense style by Gatti.
And for Allegri's men, they are missing there, for me, their best defender in Bremer. Well, tonight you wouldn't know it.
Yeah, Gatti's done well of late, hasn't he? Seen a lot more minutes in the last month or so than he had tended to do earlier on in the season. It's a wonderful personal story, isn't it? The player is an amateur up until 2020. Made his Italy debut before his Juventus debut against England in June of last year. Says Chiellini is his idol. Imagine being, or keeping your idol out the team or sitting next to him in the dressing room. Living out a dream, really, Gatti, isn't he?
No, for sure. And when you look at people to learn from, Chiellini would be that man, wouldn't he?
Ndombele. Good run here by Oliveira. That's a really good ball in that. Chiesa. Milik with a lovely layoff. First involvement here for Di Maria. Tracked by Juan Jesus. Chiesa makes a run as well. He looked for Milik, and Di Lorenzo just cut it out. Good defending.
Certainly was. Good attack, though. On the counter from Juve now. Will the game start opening up?
Lobotka. Kvaratskhelia. Well, this is his sort of range. And off Osimhen it came. And the shot on the turn took a deflection, and it'll be a corner.
Rugani, great block, it really was. Kvaratskhelia just always jinks to the left, comes into the right. I've seen him so many times this season stick it in the back of the net. Through plenty of bodies. The centre half for Juve was a match again.
Seeking his 22nd league goal of the season today, Osimhen, the Serie A top scorer. He'll be one of those waiting in the box here. Kvaratskhelia with the ball in. Too much on that from Ndombele. Quadrado. Gatti, Rugani. Locatelli. Danilo. Di Lorenzo. Kvaratskhelia. Chance to run at the back line. Di Lorenzo. Lozano. Osimhen calling for it. Too high for him. It'll come for Ndombele. And he was unselfish and maybe should have just put his boot through that.
Need to just get out of his feet and have a shot. The touch from Gatti just allowed him a half a chance, but he didn't take it.
Chiesa. Chased by Lozano. Lozano's done well there, up against Juve's number 7.
Struggling Solé. There it's cramp. He's been pulling his calf and his hamstrings just earlier.
Sporting that from Osimhen, wasn't it, which was
yes,
acknowledged by the crowd. So Fagioli will come on here for Solé, 2 youth graduates. He was in tears, wasn't he? Fagioli on the bench after being taken off after his mistake against Sassuolo that led to a goal. He's been backed by a few of his teammates in the press after that. Still a relatively young player at 22, Fagioli. He's really made his breakthrough this season.
Yes, throughout your professional career, you will always make mistakes. What matters is how you respond to those mistakes. You'll learn.
Osimhen, Lozano. Anguissa. Ndombele. His momentum really carried him through there. I don't think there was any intent at all from Ndombele.
No, there certainly wasn't. He just overhit the ball as he's running with it. decided to try and get there, couldn't pull out in time.
He lost that his previous mask on international duty. Victor Osimhen has had a new one custom made. I did laugh when I read a report that in Naples apparently his mask was appearing on cakes and Easter eggs.
Well, he is certainly turning into an icon, isn't he? Because his play this season has been absolutely wonderful. Just tonight, though, hasn't had those chances.
So a double change coming for Napoli. Elmas and Zielinski coming on, Lozano coming off, and as is Ndombele. To make of that double change.
Just about right, I think. Ndombele certainly is flattered to deceive. Lozano started well, but has run out a bit of a puff in this second half, so freshen things up. Two quality players coming on.
Could be an important source of creativity in terms of unlocking the door. Zielinski, he averages 2 key passes per game in Serie A. Only Mario Rui averages more for Napoli. See what he can do from the bench. And Elmas is certainly somebody who's used to being asked to influence things from the bench. His 21st substitute appearance of the season just in the league. Di Lorenzo to Elmas. Anguissa. Juan Jesus. Lobotka. Kvaratskhelia. Oliveira. Three around Kvaratskhelia, who's good, but maybe not that good.
Cuadrado just wily with that experience that he's got. It's been a tough challenge for Cuadrado against Kvaratskhelia, but he's stood up to it pretty well.
Saying he feels the pressure of playing for Naples, the expectation on him, Kvaratskhelia, but says he can handle it. Anguissa. Di Lorenzo. Can somebody just find that final ball for one of these teams? Elmas. Anguissa. Elmas up against Rabiot. Elmas again. Osimhen takes it on and gets his shot off. Now, was there a deflection on that? There was, it's a corner.
Just off the defender, that nick off the post as well, but so many black and white shirts in and around the penalty area, yet still somehow Elmas, the outside of the boot, plays a lovely 1-2, gets it to Osimhen. And the big striker couldn't quite squeeze it in to that near post, so close.
"20 minutes to go in Turin. Zielinski with the cross, and the header from Osimhen straight at the goalkeeper, either side of him, and it surely would have been 1-0.
Great connection as well. I think you're exactly right. Half a yard either way. Not sure that Szczesny would have had time to try and get to the header. Eventually, a corner kick has been put on the money, but they haven't taken that chance.
I'll tell you what that reminded me of for a moment. The ball coming over and a great leap like that was Koulibaly's goal.
Koulibaly, that was the goal, wasn't it? That was incredible. It really was. And
2018.
yeah, Napoli certainly coming here in a way different position, but they had the chance that year, didn't they, as well? But blew it. They won't blow this one.
They're playing the better football at the moment. Oliveira. Now, was there a hand there? It's Osimhen. Lobotka. Elmas with the early cross, and Osimhen couldn't quite get to it.
He was late with his run. that man Locatelli as well. He has been a nemesis on this Napoli side, because getting into some great areas and once again doing the dirty work that's required.
Got more live Serie A tomorrow night. Should be a really good game in Bergamo between Atalanta and Mourinho's Roma, 7:30 tomorrow on 1, and then the Milan derby in the Champions League semi-finals, the first leg of which is the 10th of May, 7 o'clock we start, BT Sport 1. Jose was keeping everyone entertained on Thursday night, wasn't he? In Europe, here's Fagioli. Rabiot! And Anguissa is back and then was tripped by Rabiot.
Good covering. This time from Anguissa, getting back. Long strides of Rabiot. Did just catch the heels of Anguissa. He's been everywhere as well this evening. Yeah, Jose had a bit of a chat to the sporting manager down in the tunnel.
Di Lorenzo and Osimhen! The chance he's been waiting for.
Best chance. And I really did expect him to get his foot over the ball and fire it into the net. Great ball. Timing of the run is absolutely perfect. Just couldn't quite control that volley. Not easy to do, but that man has been sticking them away left, right and centre. I expected more.
Well, the movement from Osimhen and the pass from Di Lorenzo, both fantastic. Just the finish that let them down. Anguissa. Juve offering very little at the moment in terms of an attacking force.
Well, they can't get hold of the ball. When they do, they're giving it back to Napoli. When Napoli have it, they're retreating into this defensive shape.
Juan Jesus. Zielinski. Kim. Elmas. And they craft out another chance maybe for Osimhen. Kvaratskhelia. Elmas. Elmas has a go.
It's okay. Getting encouragement from his teammates. A long way out. Have to be very good to beat Chesney in the goal. That wasn't.
Such a good record that Juve have here. Only lost one of their last 18 Serie A home games. They've won 12 of them. Kept clean sheets in half of those games as well. But I think their supporters will be disappointed, frustrated, underwhelmed by how many times they've looked to put Meret's goal under trouble, in trouble in this second half.
And also, if you think they've now put Di Maria and Chiesa on two wonderful attacking talents, yet all they're doing is getting back in space and defending. At some point, need to get hold of the ball, get them on it further up the pitch.
Only Monza have beaten Juve at home in Serie A this season. Napoli have been the better side in this second half, though, and Osimhen gets the free kick.
Yes, they're gradually turning the screw, Napoli, but just the numbers and defending ability and grabbing at the shirt certainly makes it more difficult for the southern side to break through.
Elmas to Di Lorenzo. Elmas. Rugani. It's not a great ball at all, is it? In fact, it's a really poor ball. Di Lorenzo, Elmas. Tripped by Chiesa. almost like Napoli, in a way, are trying to wear Juve down here.
Yeah, well, they're certainly having a lot of possession yet again, throwing them into fouls here. Can this set piece be taken advantage of? And they've had a lot that haven't been good. One or two recent ones have been good. Osman, of course, with that headed chance. Could this be another one?
Piotr Zielinski, who will take it. It's brought Kim forwards. Came off Rugani. And it comes to Kvaratskhelia. Oliveira's cross. Lobotka first to the loose ball. Zielinski. Di Maria. Cleverly done. Locatelli. Quadrado.
Just when you thought Juventus had beaten the press of Napoli, blue shirts come streaming back, don't they? They work ever so hard.
Rabiot. Too much on it for Milik. It'll come across to Quadrado. Quadrado going on the outside, but good defending from Kvaratskhelia.
Needed to as well, because the ball was put back in. Kim was missing. He was on the floor further up the pitch, but the Georgian winger defended well. So the challenge, he's gone through the back and then just tweaked something awkward, wasn't it?
Ramani is on the bench tonight. Also got Østegård there as well. He might be an option. How fit Ramani is, though, is up for debate. Long delay over the taking of this corner. We're going to have to defend it without Kim here. Just down to 10 for the moment, Napoli. Can Juve make the most of that as we approach the final 10 minutes? Quadrado's corner. Over towards Gatti, who won his header, and Rugani with the acrobatics. What an unlikely hero that would have been.
Overhead bicycle kick from a centre-half. Well, I'm sure it's happened before. Milik does really well to win it at the back stick, but Rugani just hooked it towards goal, but never going to trouble Merritt.
Or could be a chance here. Fagioli just taken off him by Anguissa. And Milik drags it wide. Just maybe a lack of composure, snatched at it a bit.
Just took it too early, probably didn't realise what a good chance that was. Anguissa makes a mistake, recovers really well. And then Milik here, no real support, does the right thing in having a go, but always going wide.
Talked before the game, Allegri, about his forwards needing to be calm in front of goal.
He's not so calm on the touchline either. Livid with that, because these sort of half chances, they can make the difference.
Kim back on. Took a bit of a risk there, but it reached Oliveira. Lobotka. Zielinski. Well, one back by Milik. Not quite sure that was meant to be.
I think he might have seen Merritt off his line, but didn't quite get the connection. Let's go with that, shall we?
Kim. Di Lorenzo. Kim. Di Lorenzo. Good movement here by Ongisa. Elmas is calling for it. Had to stretch to get to it, and Lobotka is then brought down, is he? No, the referee points at the ball. Counter-attack is on here, and Di Maria is clean through. Now can he finish? Still Di Maria! Juve lead in Turin. And now Di Maria off the bench to great effect, possibly as a match winner.
Well, he's got that quality. Really was an excellent finish. But all the Napoli players around the referee for two reasons. Lobotka, first they think he was fouled, then Di Maria, did he keep himself onside? Was he in his own half when he made the run? Well, VAR will be checking everything. Referee just telling the players to calm down, but Di Maria, we saw the changes being made. Could they have been the difference? No doubt Lobotka did get there first. Didn't really get any of the ball, I'm not so sure. Pass is okay. Di Maria was in his own half, and the deflection, that's what did the goalkeeper. Probably would have saved it without the touch from Jesus.
Well, straight away the Napoli players surrounded the referee, who's been advised by the VAR, Gianluca Aureliano, to come and have a look at the monitor here. And will Di Maria be denied? This is what they're looking at.
It's whether Milik actually gets a touch of the ball or not. Lobotka certainly gets there first. Afterwards, does the striker get a touch? Very, very difficult to see. They'll have plenty of angles to have a look at. If he doesn't, he does.
It's whether Lobotka gets the first touch, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually think Lobotka does get the first touch. Gonna find out.
Well, the referee's waiting here for the players to move away. We've seen a lot of players come over to the referees right on the edge of the pitch in these situations.
He's telling Bonucci to move. He's 10 yards away from him.
Puts the further pressure on them. And that spin disallowed. Big call in the final 10 minutes here. Yellow card shown to Fagioli for dissent. I think it was Fagioli, yeah.
More players surrounding the referee as well. Danilo, of course, it's fine being the captain, but leave it to him. Just looking again to the challenge from Milik. I thought Lobotka did get there first. Don't see any sort of touch on the ball from Milik. He certainly gets the Napoli man, and down he goes. Foul and no goal.
I knew we'd get some controversy in this game. Very rarely goes without. Well, Milik, there's the universal hand. Signal for a dive, yeah. We all know what that meant. So Raspadori's coming on for Kvaratskhelia. So Napoli now, at the other end of the pitch, have a great opportunity.
Imagine if this gets stuck in the top corner. Zielinski can do that as well. Great technician from set pieces.
It is a long way out. It will take something truly exceptional to beat Szczęsny from here. And it's just two in the wall for Juventus. Plenty of power on it, and it's swerved a bit, I think, but goalkeeper well positioned.
Saw it all the way as well. Nice and safe. Gathers easily.
Rabiot. Handball by Milik. Referee not happy with where the free kick was taken. Still time for a winner. Juve thought they had one.
Can the home side get another opportunity? It's Napoli that are pressing.
That's a good ball as well. And this is Oliveira. Flooding forward in numbers here, Napoli. Behind Raspadori, though, it's really poor there. And now Juve can counter. Game open in the closing stages. Di Maria trapped by Lobotka. Chiesa's in the box, but Lobotka did well.
Raspadori's just come on the pitch. Oliveira actually ran past him to try and defend. You'd expect a bit more from your sub.
Chiesa. Well, they tried it on there, didn't they?
I've got to laugh because I used to do the same thing, but it was so obvious that it was a goal kick and not a corner kick. But you try these things.
Worth a go, eh? Yeah. Lots of live Premier League action coming up on BT Sport this midweek. All 10 matches in this round available on our channels, including Manchester City against Arsenal. Danilo. Fagioli. Good movement here by Di Maria. Stooping header by Kim. Di Maria is full of energy. Kicked against Di Maria by Kim.
He's having a go at the referee as well. Went to the ground, a little easy for me. Yellow card swiftly given out as well.
Booking for the Argentina international. We're going to see Vlahovic in the closing stages here. Milik will make way. Now he needs a goal. Hasn't scored since the Europa League tie against Freiburg back on the 16th of March. He's got 8 Serie A games without a goal. The last of those on the 7th of February. It's 1 in 14 games in all competitions for Vlahovic. I'll repeat what I said earlier. I think this is a very hard side to play as a centre-forward in this Juventus team.
Yes, and of course he was on fire at Fiorentina. Came here and started firing them in as well, but slowly but surely the troubles of this Juventus side certainly has meant Allegri has gone conservative. And Vlahovic really has suffered.
Chiesa got the touch. Juve on the attack. Rabiot, good movement from Vlahovic. Chiesa to the left. Nice. Just kept it in. Vlahovic! Well, the whistle's gone. It isn't going to count.
Has the ball gone out? Did it just go over the line? Chiesa just takes it past Kim. Oh, that is so difficult to see.
Is the whole ball across the line there?
It does look like it is, but the referee's assistant was on the other side, so he has to see past nets and posts and everything else.
So a minimum of 6 minutes added time. It's Napoli who throughout the second half have looked the more likely, but it's Juve who've had 2 goals disallowed in the closing stages.
As Allegri will say, style doesn't get you points.
Lobotka. Up to Osimhen. Good hold-up play from the centre-forward. Brings Elmas into play. Raspadori is on the edge of the box, but Danilo's done very well there. Really good player. So reliable for Juventus. Nobody's played more minutes for them in the league this season either. Di Lorenzo. Could Napoli craft out a chance on Gisa?
Raspadori had come into the middle as well to support Osimhen, but yet again can't find their striker.
Will added time bring us a winning goal? Can these two sides be separated? Cuadrado's got him behind. Now, can he find Vlahovic? Was he clipped there? It's very strange to go down like that if he wasn't. That's going to be interesting to see again.
I don't think so. I think it was just a collision once he'd done a fancy footwork to get the ball inside.
How stretched the game is here. Zielinski, Osimhen, Zielinski, Osimhen, brilliant football! Great save by Szczęsny. On Gisa, what a frantic end to the game.
Wow, this has livened up. Polish international keeper. What about the speed that he came off the line to stop Osimhen? Brilliant.
Zielinski, and still, good footwork, Elmas. To the back post, Raspadori! It's a Raspa from Raspadori that has surely won this for the league leaders. Brilliant technique. Well on that way to the league title. And they may well have just won this game in Turin. Napoli celebrating the rain. What an end to this game.
Well, Raspadori, the brilliant connection. He had a long time to wait now, it's all getting a bit ugly as well. That's what we don't want to see, but what wonderful play here on the right-hand side. Elmas just chips a delicious ball up to the back post. Raspadori had to wait, catches it perfectly through the legs of Szczęsny because he can't do anything but try and react with the pace and power of the volley from Raspadori. Too much. Napoli are not going to be denied.
What an end to this game. The look on the face of Chiesa says it all, doesn't it? 2 disallowed goals for Juventus, and then Raspadori, who's only scored once in the league all season, comes off the bench and does that.
If you're going to score another one, make it an important one. And this certainly is. Still, it's all kicking off. Frustration certainly is because of this. They think that is a penalty. I don't see that at all.
Told something. I thought he might be coming across to have a word with someone on the Juventus bench, but it's the ball that they're not happy with. It's quite ominous for that ball, doesn't it? Not sure where that's going to go.
I think it's the end. It went out of play, that ball. Never going to do that again.
Well, it's hard to know just how much added time there is going to be now. It's certainly going to be more than 6. Ramani on right at the end.
Well, Napoli, got to give them credit because they just kept asking the questions, and even when things weren't quite going right, they couldn't quite find that bit of quality. They have the belief as such to keep going and keep going, and finally they have got their reward.
Danilo, Chiesa. Searching crossover towards Gatti. Is there an equaliser in this for Juventus? Di Maria, and Gatti's in there. That's a good defensive header. Cuadrado into a 7th minute of added time. Needs to go in the box, and quick. Chiesa. Kim got it clear.
Great chasing down from Osimhen, it really is, and for Rugani, what an awful ball it was. High in the air, had to wait for it to come down. And Napoli, they are inching ever closer to another huge 3 points.
waiting to celebrate. What a reaction this would be to Champions League elimination in the week. The champions-elect winning at the home of the most successful side in the history of this division. Rain absolutely hammering down now in Turin. Onguisa booked into an 8th minute of added time. Well, Juve with a free kick right at the end here.
Jesus didn't need to do that. Gatti initially with the challenge, and when it did come up, somehow Juve always going to go down under the challenge for another set piece.
Could they deny Napoli right at the end here? How many times have we seen Juve find a way, a late goal, to take something from a game where maybe they're behind? Approaching a 9th minute of added time. What a waste that was. And the Napoli players hugging each other like they know that was the last chance for Juve.
Just when you wanted a decent delivery to allow your attacking players to get on the end of it. Unfortunately, Di Maria couldn't find the quality.
No revenge, it would seem, for him tonight. Napoli win in Turin. Raspadori, the difference maker. Only the 4th time in Serie A history that Napoli have recorded a league double over Juventus. Another great night in a quite wonderful season for Napoli. He's the hero, though, Tony Dorigo.
Absolutely. Kvaratskhelia went off, a big call, and on comes Raspadori, who, when he was required, come up with a fantastic volley. Overall, well, Napoli were just the better side, but Juventus hung on, defended well, tactically played very well indeed, but eventually quality told. The Neapolitans come away with all 3 points. A brilliant victory.
Another step towards the league title, that elusive league title. Full time, it is Juventus 0, Napoli 1.
Thank you, fellas. Huge result, and a game that took a while to catch fire seriously got going in the last 20 minutes. Remember, Juve 2 goals ruled out, one for a very debatable free kick at the other end of the pitch in the build-up, but cometh the hour. It's normally Victor Osimhen tonight. It's Jacopo Raspadori who's done it for Napoli, and no wonder the fans that have made the big trip are delighted to celebrate with those Napoli players. And James Horncastle, they were good value in the end. It was drama all the way in the end.
It really was. I mean, really pleased for Raspadori. Raspa, the little man, whose last goals were in the Champions League in the group stages against Ajax. Yeah, he'll never have to buy a coffee or a pizza again in Naples after that. If you win in Turin against Juventus, something that Sarri's Napoli did at around the same time of the season in 2018, but ultimately they couldn't get over the line. And you see the celebrations now. This is a Napoli team that knows it is almost over the line to winning that first Scudetto since 1990. You feel sorry for the Juventus players. I'm sure that, you know, as much as they feel the sense of injustice about the 15-point penalty, which has been temporarily lifted, you go back to the game against Salernitana when Milik had a goal disallowed late on because the VAR didn't have the right pictures available to him. They'll feel just as aggrieved about that Vlahovic, that Di Maria goal being disallowed. You know, we'll have to see whether the Chiesa ball for Vlahovic goal, which was disallowed, was fully over the line as well. Just a remarkable end to that game.
Yeah, plenty of talking points. And speaking of points, the gap at the top, 17, with only 21 to play for. They're almost there, aren't they? And after a bad couple of weeks, it's better. Feeling better, certainly, down in Naples. There's the story of the weekend. Big win for Verona on Friday night against European football chasing Bologna. That gives Verona a real chance of escape. And then Saturday started with a big win for Salernitana, who are at the wrong end as well, over Sassuolo, who've been very good of late. Torino beating Sarri's Lazio, that was an upset. A point apiece for Sampdoria, that certainly doesn't do their prospects any good. Spezia hovering just above the drop zone. Inter and AC Milan today have been comfortable winners. Monza coming from 2 down at home to beat Fiorentina. Udinese seeing off surely relegation-bound Cremonese. And of course, the huge win tonight taking us almost all the way through the fixture list. It's just Atalanta-Roma tomorrow night, although I say just, it's a big game in itself. But what a massive, massive 3 points for Spalletti's men. As I say, the gap is huge. Obviously, Lazio's slip-up has extended that. Juve's 15-point improvement has catapulted them up into 3rd. But Napoli could seal the deal next weekend. If Lazio slip up again and Napoli win, it will be all done. The Scudetto number 3 will be in hand. As mentioned, Sampdoria just 17 points from 31 games. They are bound for Serie B. Cremonese surely will join them. But Verona now within a point of Spezia, within 2 of Lecce, and even Empoli and Salernitana are not yet sure of Serie A football next season. All 10 Premier League games coming your way across the BT Sport channels this week. Huge game at the bottom on Tuesday night. Leeds, Leicester were also at Aston Villa, Fulham and Wolves Palace. The all-important game at the top on Wednesday night, City, Arsenal at the Etihad. There's also West Ham, Liverpool and Chelsea, Brentford and Forest, Brighton. And then on Thursday, Spurs, Man United, Everton, Newcastle. A game that will affect both ends of the table. And Southampton, Bournemouth also. Big game for both on the South Coast. But here, in the rain in Turin, Raspadori at the far post, waited for it to drop and smashed it between Szczesny's legs. Massive 3 points for Napoli.